thought it'd be fun for us to have a little chat about everyone's favorite, totally non-divisive topic, AI. Artificial intelligence and its use in the arts has been a major topic of conversation lately. What are the morals and ethics? What does it mean for creative jobs and businesses? How will it be regulated and not used for nefarious purposes, like it absolutely already is? Which brings us to yesterday, at the time of filming this video. A story went majorly viral about an actor being replaced by AI. You might have seen some headlines in the last few days along the lines of Mamma Mia actor replaced by AI for the BBC, which sounds like absolute nightmare fuel. So I wanted to break that situation down, discuss the updates, and just kind of have a conversation about AI in the arts in general. We've got a lot to discuss, so let's jump into it. Also, if this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Kat. I really like musicals. If you really like musicals, hit subscribe to join the musical theater internet cult. That way when the machines do take over, we'll be prepared. Kind of like a Terminator situation, but with show tunes. That's what Terminator was missing, musical numbers. Thank you to Backstage for sponsoring this video. We'll hear more from them in a sec. But first, I wanna hear from you. Question of the day, what are your thoughts on AI in general in the arts? Do you see it as a helpful innovation? Do you see it as a dangerous job stealer? What have your personal experiences been like? Please let me know in the comments down below. But before we jump into that, let's take a moment to learn about today's sponsor. Let's give a big ol' thank you to Backstage for sponsoring today's video. Backstage is by far the easiest and fastest way to apply to casting calls nationwide. You can search local auditions, you can submit self-tapes, and you can find casting calls for all types of projects, not just theater, but film, TV, commercial, digital, voiceover, modeling gigs, and so much more. If you don't know, Backstage is like historic. Backstage started in the 60s. It started as a trade newspaper and now continues to be the most trusted name in casting. Major networks work with Backstage. We're talking Disney, we're talking Amazon, we're talking HBO. In addition to finding auditions, Backstage also provides valuable insight and advice. They do editorial news, educational info, and interviews with top industry leaders. I'm a big fan of Backstage, especially if you're more of a theater actor and you're looking for an opportunity to do more on-camera work or audition for more on-camera work. Backstage is a phenomenal entry point to gain that experience. I've used it both as an actor and to cast projects. It's super user-friendly. There's even an app. 10 out of 10 recommend Backstage. So if you want to check out Backstage, you're in luck. They made an awesome deal for us. You can get your first month of Backstage for only $5 when you sign up with code CAT5. Click the link down below or visit backstage.com and use code CAT5 when you sign up to get your first month of Backstage for only $5. Thank you so much to Backstage for sponsoring this segment. And now, back to the video. Personally, my take is that AI in itself is not a bad thing. It's just a tool. The bad part comes from how people use it incorrectly. We're seeing so many instances of people having their work stolen, of not getting credit, not receiving compensation, not having any type of permission to use the work at all. Because AI learns from other work, like you can have it learn from movies, videos, photos, scripts, books, whatever. AI can't create something brand new. It can only rehash what it's already learned. It's like sticking all of this source material in a blender, mixing it all together, and pouring out some weird Frankenstein smoothie. That's why in a lot of AI images you get like extra hands. That's why it's so easy, I think, to distinguish AI art. It's always like slightly uncanny, just off of reality. However, I think that it's absolutely okay as long as the material that's getting trained and the material that's coming out have been legally licensed by the AI company. As in the material they're training their AI on, they've purchased. They hire a voiceover actor with the express purpose of sampling their voice. As long as it's super specific and everyone is getting permission from all parties involved, I'm kind of okay with it. So currently, I think AI is a very powerful tool that is unfortunately being wielded kind of recklessly, not only by the creators of like the AI itself, but of the people who are then using the AI after the fact, like as a consumer. We need protective legislature for AI like yesterday when it comes to not only intellectual property, but just like privacy. I think there needs to be serious restrictions and checks and balances to make sure that AI is being used in a way that's okay. Additionally, I think a lot of the bad press that AI gets are associated with things that already existed. I'm talking phone scams, I'm talking deep fakes. People are solely attributing this to AI. Like, these things have already existed. Like, phone scams will always exist. Before that, there were email scams. There will always be Nigerian princes emailing you, letting you know that you're a distant relative and he's recently come into some money, but he needs you to wire transfer him money first. However, AI has now made it easier, faster, and more realistic than ever. One thing I do know for sure is that AI will never be able to live up to real human-made creativity. Quality, the spark, the originality, that person's own artistic perspective, you cannot perfectly recreate that. It's impossible. I don't think artists and creatives will be entirely replaced by AI, but because it's an automation tool, it'll definitely streamline the process, which cuts out a lot of people. I don't like it, but I'm scared that it's just kind of part of technology and progress. And also, any situation or business that tries to entirely replace a creative position with AI, they don't care about the quality of your work or your specific point of view or your artistic vision. They only care about the bottom line and getting the product as cheaply and quickly as possible. If they could order you on Amazon, they would. So these people were never going to be your client, you know? That's not a client I want. That's not someone who was going to value your work. So it feels like comparing apples and oranges, you know? Your market for the people who want the super cheap AI stuff versus something really good and original. Totally different markets, which is why I think it's so concerning seeing this story coming out of the BBC. So let's talk about what's happening in London. This story got kinda big in the last few days and there's been some updates, so if you haven't heard about this, here's the gist. Yesterday, a British actress by the name of Sarah Poyser posted on her Twitter account. She's most well known for playing Donna Sheridan in Mamma Mia. She's also currently in the tour of Come From Away. In her now viral post, Sarah shares a screenshot of an email. She was in talks to work with the BBC, but the email states that the AI-generated voice has been approved, so we won't need Sarah anymore. Yikes. Not only is that just like an awful sentence, that's maybe the worst way you can phrase it too. She shares the screenshot, she tags Equity, she tags the BBC, the tweet goes viral, everyone is up in arms, various actors are supporting Sarah. It even finds its way into the news, which is how I found out about this story. I read it on Deadline, so it's caused a major commotion. AI usage in the arts is already a really hot topic issue, and now to do something so public and blatant as replacing actors with AI? That's not nearly as heard of. This situation kind of took everyone by surprise and left everyone rightfully horrified. And then the BBC made a statement and provided some context. Turns out that the project in question is a highly sensitive documentary where AI is going to be used to create the voice of someone who is nearing the end of their life. Sarah Poyser was in negotiations to potentially provide voiceover for the role. However, according to the BBC in their statement, they went the AI-generated route in an attempt to honor the wishes of the contributor's family. There will be a dedicated, brief, and clearly signposted section of the documentary to recreating a voice which can now no longer be heard. So, it seems like the parties involved prefer it this way. I think with this context, under the very, very certain circumstances, I think it's okay. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear from you. However, what I think is really interesting about this whole entire story, this is not the first time that the BBC has faced issues with using artificial intelligence. Just last week, they apologized for using AI-generated marketing materials for Doctor Who. They promised not to do it again, and then immediately this story happens. And I think that's why it's so deeply concerning to see a massive company like the BBC using AI to seemingly cut corners. I think this story highlights the need to set a precedent for what's going to be okay for AI in the arts and how it affects business. But those are just some of my thoughts. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole situation? Any and all thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, hit subscribe, join the musical theater internet cult. Again, huge thank you to Backstage for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!